Hello, hi. So I haven't done an evening one before and my lights are kind of behind me at the moment. I'll put one there. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So lovely to see you. And I'm hoping the light will be okay in here. So the thing is, I've got a new webcam. Yay! So hopefully the light and the camera will be a bit better. Hopefully this is working fine. I've worked out what was wrong last time. I've got my mic. So wonderful. So some of you probably haven't joined before because I normally do it just the morning class. And this is my first evening class. And for some reason, I feel really excited. You can see my pregnancy balls up there. I don't know if it's a good idea. And yeah, so I feel very excited about it. And so it might mean that we have some people from the US or Canada places. Who knows, maybe even New Zealand. Oh, sorry. There's always a bit of technical setting up, which is a shame because you don't get that in normal yoga classes. Okay, so find your comfortable seat. It's nice to do an evening class. I haven't done one of these for a little while. That's cute. I haven't done one of these for a while, so that's good. I'm hoping everyone's feeling, just okay, really. And it'll probably be fairly gentle, but we might end up doing, stronger posture here and there, but I think you're all okay with that. And I'll just try and stick to the hour. I'm not used to it. Okay. Get my clock. Okay, starting with your eyes closed in Sukhasana, the cross-legged position, or in kneeling. And then begin to just take note of how you're feeling today. So how you are this evening. It might be morning for you, or afternoon. Just check in with yourself. And as you do so, start to deepen the breath. So you're deepening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. And take note of any conversations that are going on in your head and just let them be as they are. And any sensations in your body. And then start to lengthen gently as you inhale through the crown of the head. And then begin to soften your shoulders and your face muscles as you exhale. Drawing the breath into your belly and all around your rib cage. Notice how it expands as you breathe in. And then around your chest, feeling the full yogic breath enter your lungs and expand your torso. Really take note of what happens as you exhale, as the air leaves your body. You'll be gently quietening the nervous system, just calming down a little bit. And then let's bring our hands to the heart center in Namaste. We can start our class by chanting the Om vibration 3 times together. Breathing in. Om. And gently opening your eyes. And lifting up, stretching your arms up. And then exhaling, bringing the hands behind, clasping, inhaling, opening the chest. Exhale. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale on the movement. Inhale, opening up the chest. One more time, exhale. Inhale, lift up, stretching up. And then gently move from side to side. So you're holding your palms together. And just really gently moving, because you may have eaten already like me. So being careful with your full belly if you have one, or I tried to do it early, but it wasn't early enough. So I'm going to go a little bit slow. And then stretching up, lifting up, and then placing one hand down and the other one over. So you're going over to the side. So you can stretch a little bit further. And just hold it here and breathe gently. Inhale, lift up, and exhale over to the other side. Deep, full breaths. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, folding forward. And I'm going to release my blanket as I fold forward. I find it works better for me. I think Ruth has joined. Hi, Ruth. Exhaling. That's nice, good. And then bring yourself up, lifting up, stretching up. And then over to the side into the twist. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And exhale, gently twisting. Deep breaths. And if you know the Ujjayi breath, you can bring that into your practice as well. Inhale, lifting up, stretching, and over to the other side. So as we twist, we're lengthening on the inhale and softening on the exhale. Lovely deep breaths. Great. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, back to center. Inhale, lifting up. Oh, and something I forgot to do before we lift up was change the cross of your legs. So you're changing over. And then exhale, fold forward. Just fold forward as far as is comfortable for you. It might be that you're still up here. That's fine. So it's all to do with flexibility in the hips and the lower back. Often to do with those muscles that are connecting to the lumbar spine. And so gently bringing yourself back up. And then bring yourself over onto all fours. Knees hip width apart. Hands below the shoulders. And let's start by feeling into whatever movement you want to make. So you're moving your body, like your hips, your shoulders, your spine, moving those areas in any way you wish to move. So your only guidance is your hands are still on, and knees are still on the mat. And then we'll bring the movement into a flowing cat. So we're inhaling up and exhale, moving back towards the heels, scooping and inhaling up. So as you exhale, you're drawing up the belly, so the navel is going back towards the spine and your pelvic floor, and then scooping down and inhaling up, arching your back. Exhale, lifting the back towards the ceiling. Actually, arching is this way, isn't it? I get very confused, actually. They both get called arching. So, really breathing into this lovely flowing cat, following your breath. And then bringing yourself back into child, stretching the arms out. Taking a few breaths here in child. And then begin to bring yourself back up when you're ready. The knees are hip width apart. And start to move down into puppy pose. So you're stretching out your arms. So it's a bit like Anahatasana with a heart chakra posture, but you've actually got your knees hip width apart. So if this is difficult for your knees, do anything you need to do, like you could come into Anahatasana and widen the knees, or put a blanket underneath your knees and just come down as far as is comfortable for you. So it might be that your chin is on the mat. It might be that your head is on the mat. See how it is. It's a stretch of the upper back and your shoulders. And then gently lifting yourself back up. And then lift up the right arm and thread it through. So you're coming into thread the needle with your ear to the mat. And then have your hand so that your fingers are facing, so your arms at a right angle and your fingers are facing or towards your face. And if you wish to, you can lift your arm up, or you can tuck it behind you. Either put it on your sacrum or into your thigh. And then if your arm is behind you, lift it up. And if it's up, you can place it down by your head. And then bring yourself back up and going to the other side. Great. So lifting up the left hand and threading it through. And the fingers can be towards your face and your arms at a right angle. And then if you wish, you can lift up your hand. And again, you can place on your sacrum or tuck it into your thigh if you want to. And if it's behind, lift your hand back up. And then if it's up, you can place your hand back to your face and bring yourself back up. Lovely, great. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so stretching the hands out again. Turning the toes around. Keeping your knees hip width and your feet hip width. We're just going to bring ourselves up into a hover. So this is great for toning your abdominal muscles. So really draw in your pelvic floor, your mula bandha, and your abs. Those wonderful core muscles. And then gently move back into half downward dog. So you've got bent knees. And perhaps something, got bent knees in half downward dog, and your chest is going back towards your knees. And then lifting up on tiptoes into a acute dog. So you're in acute angle. And then exhale down into the full expression of downward facing dog. So you can walk out your feet. So your heels one at a time are going down. And then start to walk your feet to the edge of the mat. And then you can walk your hands to the edge of the mat as well. You can do a little wide dog here. And then start to walk your hands towards your feet. You can bend your knees. And just hang here in a wide Uttanasana, forward fold. And then just gently, gently rolling yourself up with wide legs. So being careful of your lower back, stacking one vertebra at a time onto each other until eventually your cervical spine will be the last to come up. I'm so annoyed with my plat being on the wrong side. I'm actually redoing it. That's not very professional, I'm sorry. But it's just, anyway, it wasn't the right side for me. Okay, so you are up, but you've still got your legs wide like this at the moment. So sorry, I don't know what compelled me to do it right in the middle of the session. It was just too irritating. So talk amongst yourselves. And then, okay, so you're in this lovely wide stance, so you can gently bend your knees and rock from side to side. So you can release the feet a bit now. So making sure if you keep them it's kind of stuck to the mat, then you can risk hurting your ankles or your knees. So this is a swinging and twisting. Lots of lovely deep breaths. And then gently reducing the movement so that you're standing here, and then bring your hands, also your feet, so they're hip width apart. And you can lift up from the arches of the feet. And you can lift up your toes and just place them down really gently. And we'll bring ourselves into chair. We're going to bring a skier in first. So lifting up, stretching up. Exhale, bringing yourself down. Inhale up. Exhale down. So again, if you've eaten recently, just being really careful. Lots of lovely deep breaths. You can go as slowly as you need to. And then coming down into Utkatasana. So you're tucking in your tailbone here, holding yourself nice and straight, really protecting your lower back. Again, it's all about the pelvic floor and core muscles. So your strong abs. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring yourself down. Pelvic floor is really helpful here, by the way. Lifting up and then bringing the hands down to the heart center. Fantastic, great. Okay. So stepping the feet fairly wide, so it's not quite wrist to ankle, a little bit further in. And then to begin with, we'll move into Trikonasana. So if this is not one of your favorites, just not going very far down, or just doing a modification which kind of like can help open up the side, but without having to lift up the arm, things like that. So bending your right knee, so just to begin with, just bend your right knee, and it's heel to arch alignment, opening up wide drawing yourself forward. So you're feeling this gentle movement forward, and then straightening your leg and coming down very gently into the triangle posture. Forgive me if this is making a bit of a noise. So this means you'll find wherever is comfortable for you. So it might be that your hand is on the mat. Remember to lift up your toes if you're feeling them scrunch into the mat. Or it might be that you're up here, you're right up here. Or just find your place, your right place, the right place for you. And feeling the lifting from the top arm. Now, if it's too much to the top arm, you can actually place it behind. That's quite nice. And it's quite a nice way of opening up the shoulder, opening up the hip. And feeling from the heart, there's a real opening, and for the energy is coming through your arms from the heart space. Drawing down to the earth, reaching up to the sky. And then feeling the lifting from the sky and bringing yourself back up. That's lovely, good. And we may as well, while we're here, why not? Move out the back foot a little bit, so you're a little bit wider, and then coming into warrior two. And then have a look forward and lifting through the arch of the back foot. So you're rolling slightly back on your back foot, lifting up your toes and then placing them down. And again, feeling the energy moving from your heart space through the arms. The strong warrior posture. It's a lovely one. I love warrior two. Looking straight ahead. And feeling your mula bandha keeping you steady in your core, your base area. And then gently moving forward so that you're resting but not leaning on, just gently resting on your thigh, your quad muscle. And can you see there's a line running through here, right from the foot through to the hands. Badakanasana. Sideways angle pose. So you're in a sideways or side angle pose. And then gently bringing yourself back up. Lovely. Turning the right hand over and then coming back into peaceful warrior. Gentle breaths. Remember your ujjayi breath. You can really use it in these standing warriors. It's amazing to use it. And then bringing yourself back. Fantastic. Good. And bringing the hands to the hips. And then turning the toes so you're facing forward. Brilliant. Okay. So lifting up. Mula bandha. Pelvic floor. Inhale, lifting through, bend the knees, and then coming forward. So I've got blocks there. So if you have blocks, you can use them to rest on if you need to. Otherwise, just come forward. And if you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. Remember about your toes. You can lift up your toes and just relax them. Just bring yourself forward. This lovely, wonderful stretch of the legs, this one. And these kind of ones, Trikonasana is an amazing one for your gallbladder meridian. And there's different yoga postures are really, different yoga postures are good for different organs. You can feel the benefit. In fact, I'll look up which one this one's for. Once upon a time, I knew that. Inhale, have a look up. Bend the knees. Hands to the hips. And then bring back up. Wonderful. Okay, so turning the left foot round. So all of these ones are heel to arch alignment. And so just bring your heel toe, your foot in a little bit, because with Trikonasana, we're not really wide. Whereas with wide leg and warrior, wide leg, you can be really quite wide actually. But with the warriors, you can be a bit wider. So the foot is in about, it's only about 15 degrees with these ones. It's not like 45 degrees when you're turning like that. Okay, so bend your knees slightly for Trikonasana to start with. Opening up your arms so they're parallel with the mat. Breath in and feeling the energy moving, bringing you forward, straightening your knee. This is the time to straighten your knee now. And then finding your place. Remember, you can be down here if it's comfortable for you. Or you could be holding your big toe. But that's quite advanced. That's kind of quite a big stretch. Okay, so lifting up and feeling the energy from the heart, really opening up to the sky, down to the earth. Keeping the breath steady. Deep breaths. And remember, you can always modify opening up like this. This is quite lovely. I love stretching open like this, tucking your arm behind. And then gently bring yourself back up and move your back foot out a little bit. And then coming into Warrior Two. So with Warrior Two, we can see our big toe, because that means you're opening up here. Your thighs are really opening up, your hips are opening up, and your knee is over your ankle, but it's really nice and wide. There we are, good. Warrior Two. Deep breaths, feeling the strength in your base, your Mula Bandha, holding you, containing, keeping this area contained. Soft shoulders, feeling the energy from the heart through the hands. So you're really a warrior, this way and this way. And turning around the left hand, so the palm is up, and then back into peaceful warrior. Lovely. And I can't remember which we did first, but we're going now down into Badakanasana. So we've got a lovely straight body here, if that's what your body wants to do. And remember, you could almost be here without resting your hand. That's how little you're using your forearm. Deep breaths. And then bring yourself back up. Wonderful. Bring your hands to your hips, turning your toes forward. It's fantastic. And then stepping your feet together, turning around to the back of your mat, opening up wide. We're going to reverse down how we came up. So as we came up, we curled up. So this time we'll drop our heads and then gently rounding the shoulders down, bending the knees if you need to, probably do, I know I do. And rounding, so you're going from your cervical spine to your thoracic spine, and now you're rounding your lumbar spine. And finding yourself down, hanging here in a wide leg Uttanasana again. And then to begin to walk out, a bit like an animal. You're walking out your hands nice and slowly and gently till you're in wide downward dog. And you can even put your hands out to the edges of the mat too and stretch out. And then gently walk the feet in, so you're in full downward dog, and walk the hands in so that they're shoulder width apart. So the feet are now hip width apart. And then lift up into an acute dog on tiptoes. And then bend the knees, so you're going into half downward dog. And then lowering the knees so they're hovering, so you're back in your hover, lifting up pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. And then bring yourself down onto the mat into kneeling. Fantastic, great. That's good. So bring the hands to the heart center. And then gently lifting up, stretching up in extended diamond. You can even do a little back bend. And then parting the hands and bringing yourself down into child. So this time you've got your knees are closed because you were kneeling. So we can take the opportunity to bring the hands back and see how this is and come into embryo. So it's like a sleeping child. Take a moment to rest. This version of child's posture. And release your arms. Start to crawl down across the mat again, like another kind of like animal of some kind. And then bringing yourself into Sphinx. So you're here in this supported back bend. It's like a supported cobra. So in Sphinx, your elbows are below your shoulders and your hands are straight in front of you, nice wide fingers. Just taking a moment here. And then gently bring yourself down onto the mat with hands by side. And so we're going to, you might notice if you come to my classes quite a bit, you might notice I rarely do back bends, and it's because I actually don't like them very much. I've got quite a curvature in my spine and accentuate lordosis, and so actually it's not like doesn't like feel great for me, but actually back bends are really amazing as well, and they're really important for a lot of people. So we're not going to do massive big back bends just because that's the kind of yoga teacher I am, but let's have a go at doing the bow posture. At all, then watch me first. But basically, we're going to do the bows, but just do as little as very long at all, or not very high as well. I don't think I do it very high actually. So take, and as you exhale, bring your hands to your ankles. Some people flex their feet. I actually tend not to. And so you're just having a little look up, and this is kind of like, this is the bow before you actually lift. So my thighs are on the mat, my chest is on the mat, but my head's just up a little bit. Take a breath in, and then exhale, lifting up. See, a lot of people can go a lot higher than that, but it's to do with like flexibility in quads and things like that. So I don't practice this, so just come as high as me if you want. So all I'm doing, you see, I'm down there, then I'm lifting up. I'm just lifting up a bit off the mat and looking forward, taking a few breaths. Ideally, your knees are still hip width apart, but I know mine aren't. They're probably more like shoulder width. And come down whenever you need to. It's a lovely quad stretch, actually. And then exhaling down. Still holding mine, because I'm going to give you the option of coming up again if you wish. If you don't, just have a little rest on your tummy. Taking a breath in, and then exhale, lifting up. And then bringing yourself down. So there are variations to that, like as a, be lifting up one leg at a time, one arm at a time, half bow. like this, but I kind of prefer the full bow. I think it's because it's symmetrical. But yeah, so there's different options. So I'd actually like to hear, if anyone stays afterwards, I want to hear how that was for you. The bow. So I don't really teach it very often. So hands, shoulders, bows, waist. Take a breath in and exhale, bringing yourself back just for a moment back into downward dog, because it's one way of stretching your body as you go back. And take a breath in, bringing yourself back into child. And then gently lifting yourself up and finding your way onto the mat. So your back is you're going to come back into a semi-supine, is what I mean. So bring yourself down onto the mat any way you fancy. And so your knees are hip width apart and your feet are hip width apart. Actually, first, because of the back bend, let's draw these into the chest and have a little rock. I think that's what we'll go to because I can feel it in my back. It's rocking from side to side. And then putting your hands on your knees. Inhaling, opening up the knees, exhaling, closing. Lovely, gentle breaths. And then placing the feet down and lengthening the the left leg, and flexing the left leg. Bring your right leg in. This is one-sided wind release. Gentle breaths. And then lengthening your leg. So here you can use a strap if you have one. Otherwise, put your hand to your back of your thigh, back calf, gently point back. Oh, that's quite good. A bit of a hamstring stretch. And then placing the foot down and then bringing up the other knee again. So the left knee is pointing towards the ceiling, and then bring your right knee over. So we're coming into leg cradle. So your right ankle is on your left thigh, to the thigh. Then drawing hands in between. So you've got your right hand going in between, and then you're drawing in your legs in this reclined pigeon posture, stretching out your right glute muscles. And if you want to make it stronger, you can put your hands in front so they're on the left shin. So really relaxing. So we're coming to, this is the relaxing part of the practice. You've done actually quite hardcore work today. I always think I'm going to do a lovely gentle class. Not always, is it? And then releasing down. Stretching out the right leg, flexing the foot. Bringing in the left knee in towards your armpit area. Exhaling. So you're really exhaling the knee towards you. Inhale and then exhale. Yawns are allowed, by the way. Just have a yawn whenever you like. I just did. And bringing your leg up, so either behind the thigh, behind the calf, or using a strap. Draw in the leg, stretching up back of the leg here. And almost point and flex your foot. That's quite nice. Lovely. And then bringing up the right leg, so the knees pointing the ceiling, planting the foot down, and then lifting up, so placing the left hand between, grabbing the back of your right thigh, clasping, stretching out the left hip, glute area. And then, of course, you make it stronger if you wish by clasping your hands over your shin. And if it's also you're struggling to get through with lifting up your head, you can place blanket underneath your head, and you can also use a strap. That's something that people do. So if you're quite tight in this area, or you're kind of, work out a lot or something, you've got a bigger frame or something, it's sometimes harder to move, get in. And then gently releasing the legs down. And we'll bring our hands down by the side. Take a breath in and then exhale the pelvis up. So all we're doing is rocking the hips. So on the exhale, navel but goes back towards the spine. The belly button goes back towards the spine, and you're lifting up your pelvic floor and holding in tummy muscles, nice, not too firmly on your dinner. Exhale. Inhale back down. So exhale on the movement. And inhale, release down at this point, because it's such a short amount of time. So making sure your knees are hip width apart, your feet hip width apart, so they're not kind of splaying out at all. And the next time it's come up to ribs, it's come up to the ribs, so lifting up the lumbar spine. Take a breath in and then exhale, lift up the lumbar spine just up to the ribs. Breath in and gently place the lumbar back onto the mat. Breath in, back up to the ribs again. Breath in and then down. Inhale and exhale to the shoulder blades, so lifting up halfway through the thoracic spine. Breath in, exhale down. Lovely, good. You're just placing one vertebrae back onto the mat at a time. So even if you're physically not doing that, you're imagining you're doing that. So it's a really nice, gentle movement. Quite controlled. Inhale. Exhale, lifting up to the shoulder blades. So you're just coming up to, wherever your shoulder blades are. So not all the way up. And then exhale back down, one vertebrae at a time. And then lifting up to your shoulders, peeling your spine off the mat. Imagine it's just one vertebrae at a time you're peeling off. Coming up to your shoulders. Really nice, strong legs. So remember that they're still hip width apart, your knees. And this one's for Mel. He liked it when I mentioned the squishy ball. So if you want to put a squishy ball in between your knees, you can. Breath in and then exhale down. Lovely. And this time we'll add the hands just for fun. Breathing in, exhale, bring yourself up. Breath in, exhale, arms up. Inhale, and then exhale, bringing the body down. See what it's like to leave the arms up. Breathing in, and then exhale, the hands down. It's lovely. That's great. Okay, I think we'll leave it there so we can have a little twist. So lift up your hips and then place them 2 inches over to the right. Open up the arms. So if your arms are shoulder width, just lower them by about 1 inch. So they're just, your shoulders are not kind of high up. It just gives the shoulders a little bit more room. And then you can either bring the knees over to the left from here, or if you want it a bit stronger, you can draw in your knees a little bit and then over to the left. And you can place your left hand on your right knee if you're doing that. And then looking over your right hand. And just rest here. So enjoy this twist. Remember that this part of the practice it's quite relaxing. Actually, the bridge, the flowing bridge was relaxing too, but you were engaging a lot more in that. But this bit you really like. It's just like, what else? You're just really relaxing. Lovely, gentle stretch. Really feeling your breath speaking to your body and inviting it to relax the muscles that need to rest and soften. Breath in and then exhale, bring yourself up, lifting up the hips and placing them back to neutral. And then again, lifting up, and then the hips are going a couple of inches over to the left. And it's your choice. So either you go over where you are, or lift your knees into the chest and moving over, which is a little bit stronger. And if you've done that, your right hand will be on your left knee if you want it to be. It's just an extra little adjustment. You're almost adjusting yourself because you can draw it over. And looking over at your left hand. You can even close your eyes. It's like, this can be so nice and stress-free. Deep breaths, inviting in softness. This lovely massage of the organs. Twists are fantastic for organ health. And taking a breath in and bring yourself back and level up your hips. Bringing the feet together and the knees apart, coming into Supta Badakanasana. So one hand can be on the heart and one on the belly. And you can either stay here for as long as you like, or you can come down straight down into Shavasana. But you can take your time, so either be in Supta for a bit longer, or Shavasana, whatever. Just whatever feels nice, what feels right for you. And if you need to make yourself warm, then please do. You might need to do something else. You might need to rock on your spine or come into happy baby a bit first. So yeah, just do whatever feels good before coming to Shavasana. Grabbing a blanket, socks, hat. Depends how warm your house is or your dwelling. Yeah, and just take this time for your own resting, for you to completely, fully rest and be still. Be here in this corpse pose, aptly named. You're as relaxed as if you no longer need your body. And you're really recognizing, the main thing you're recognizing is your own deep, innate being. So your body is no longer needed and you can just completely let go. There's a full relaxation of all your muscles, all your ligaments and tendons, just holding your muscles and your bones together. Completely relaxing them. Even relaxing your bones, feeling like your bones are almost like jelly. And feeling able to rest in this way by feeling the support, nurturing from your mat, which is the earth, Mother Earth beneath the mat, completely holding you, supporting you, which is, of course, yourself. Full support and holding from yourself, by yourself. You don't need to go anywhere to find that support and nurturing, nourishment. So it comes from you. Self-care. So feeling this deep rest from your head right down to your toes. Feeling a deep peacefulness. As your heart glows, beautiful, radiating softness. Deep peace fills your body. Deep peace. It gives you full relaxation, full resting. Peace is this moment without judgment. Do you think peace requires an end to war or tigers eating only vegetables? Does peace require an absence from your boss, your spouse, yourself? Do you think peace will come some other place than here, some other time than now, in some other heart than yours? Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment, this moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Start to deepen your breath. Begin to find some gentle movement in your body. This might be your fingers, your toes. You might wish to rock your head from side to side, or draw in the knees towards your chest, a knee hug. You might wish to stretch right from the tips of your fingers to your toes, stretching out your whole body. And when you're ready, you can find your way onto your side, resting for a moment on your side. And bringing yourself back up to seated. And with your eyes closed, bring your hands to the heart center. And let's take a couple of breaths here. Notice how you're feeling. Notice your thoughts, sensations in the body, emotions, this being human experience. And just rest. Completely relax. Notice how the breath lifts you from the crown of the head as you inhale. And relaxes your body as you exhale. Let's complete our practice by chanting the Om vibration 3 times, finishing with Om Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the arms up into Prana Mudra above the head. Nice and wide. Taking 3 deep life-affirming breaths here. And bring the hands above the head, Namaste. Down through the centers, Sahasrara, the crown, Ajna at the third eye, Vishuddhi at the throat, Anahata at the heart center, Manipura at the solar plexus, Svadhisthana at the sacrum, and Muladhara at the root. And back up to the heart. Namaste. And thank you for joining me in my first evening live stream. It's really lovely to have you. And yeah, it's really lovely to teach an evening class. So yeah, thank you. And so nice to see that there's probably still the same people here who came. Just about. So yeah, I hope that went okay for you. It was a little bit stronger than I expected. How was this is if you're okay to talk. If you feel like just being quiet and going, that's absolutely fine. But how was the Dhanurasana, the bow? If you, because that's quite, I find teaching back bends. I'm always a bit awkward about it because I find them difficult. They can hurt sometimes. So yeah, thank you, Karen. That's really lovely. And yeah, I suppose it's time to go to bed soon, or for me anyway. Yeah, the quads, they were strong. I thought the bow posture was, I think I must have done it for a little while because it was really strong on my quads. Oh yeah, Ruth was too full. I actually was a bit full as well. So yeah, it's a tricky time of day because you have to eat a bit early. Yeah. So those of you who see Tara and Karen, Gwyneth, actually used to come to my evening class, so my Wednesday evening class, and sometimes, and it's hard for lockdown because of lockdown. There hasn't really been any so much at all. So basically, this evening one. So you're welcome to come again. I'll do it again. So just turn up if you want to come. It might change its day as the Angel Hall opens a bit more. I'll need to find a time, day and stuff. Thanks, Eve. Yeah, so bow works for some people. It is a tricky time. You have to eat really early for a 7:30 class, but I'm used to eat really early and now I've got a bit later. Bye, Ruth. Bye. I'm just like chatting because I'm lonely. No, I'm not really lonely, but it's mainly me and James on our own. But anyway, yeah, lovely to see you guys, all of you, and yeah, it's nice to see you all. And was it okay? Actually, sorry, I'm going to ask you all these questions. Was it okay? Bye, Eve. Was it okay to do it only for an hour? It was actually I thought it worked all right. Yeah, so an hour, because an hour and a half can be quite long for people sometimes. Anyway, lovely to see you guys. You can pop off any point. I'm just sitting and chatting. But, okay, I suppose I better stop and I better go and do useful things. Yeah, I think so, Karen. It still felt like a good amount of time, and I think it doesn't take up so much of the evening. Mel says, I love the positive natural environment you create in your classes. That's so sweet. From the mad running around to the start when you were sorting out the tech. I know. Replait my hair. That I'm not able to do this myself because I'm a bit wonky. That's true. Oh, very sweet. You could write me Mel, you could write me a testimonial. I could put it on my website. It's great. It's very sweet. Thank you so much, Mel. Okay, I better go because I'm just waffling on. Okay, yes, so next week's happening. It's definitely happening on a Thursday and it will be exactly the same amount of time. It will be, same time, so 7:30 to 8:30, and I should go and stop talking now. But see you guys next week. Okay, bye.